After more than a day of speculations, Iran government has finally confirmed that their president Ibrahim Raisi has been killed in a chopper crash that happened on the border of Iran and Azerbaijan at a mountainous region. That has put an end to all conspiracy theories on whether Ibrahim Raisi is alive or not. But that has sparked new conspiracy theories on whether it was an accident or a sabotage. Now let's get to the bottom of the whole issue. Welcome to Insights. This is Hari Kumar. The accident occurred when Ebrahim Raisi was returning from Azerbaijan after attending an important function there. There was a convoy of three helicopters. Raisi was in one of them. But the other two choppers managed to return safely and land safely. What does that mean? Primarily, it means that the chopper crash or the chopper in which Raisi was sitting crashed not because of inclement weather as reported by some media or speculated by some people. If that were inclement weather or harsh weather were the reason for the helicopter crash, then other helicopters would also have experienced that, but no report says about that. So it is clear that there was something else. Was it something? Did the helicopter develop any snacks? Because the helicopters and other modern modes of transportation in Iran are old and they need repair. But because of the sanctions of United States, that cannot be done properly or that is being jerry-rigged in Iran itself. So there is a chance that a poorly maintained helicopter might have crashed. We cannot dismiss it. But then there is a question. If the helicopter developed snacks, the pilot would have tried to communicate it to some of the ground control rooms or even other chopper pilots. So modern communication facilities are there in every helicopter, especially a helicopter carrying Iran president will have at least some of those state-of-the-art facilities somehow or other. Iran will try to install them on it, especially when Iran is facing threat from the United States, then Israel, and many other countries. Even the GCC countries are not in very good terms with Iran. So it is very clear this is not this is unlikely to be the result of snag. So we can safely assume that the chopper might have been either hit by a missile or some electronic warfare system might have disabled the helicopter, suddenly bringing it down. So that might have been something like a free fall, which caused immediately the helicopter might have caught fire, leaving no chance to the passengers to survive. Perhaps that might have happened to Ebrahim Raisi. That could be it sounds logical to think like that. Now, if it were a sabotage, did the saboteurs get any help from insiders? It is probable. Why? Iranian president, the foreign minister, and many important officials, some reports say an Azerbaijan minister was also in the chopper. So all these people were stacked into a single helicopter. Normally that is against the protocol. VVIPs are not allowed to sit together in a helicopter because choppers everywhere in the world, it is not that choppers are not a very or a perfectly safe mode of transportation. So normally they will be dispersed in different helicopters. So it seems that somebody might have overlooked protocols or somebody might have infiltrated into the security system and might have stacked all these people together in a single helicopter. So there could be some, if it was a sabotage, there could be internal help. That is definite. Without that, this would not have occurred at the particular spot. It's a vulnerable area. Immediately, rescuers cannot reach the space. And those who did the sabotage knew all these things very well. So it is logical to assume that the saboteurs got inside help. Now, who are the saboteurs? Primarily, the arrows of doubt points towards Israel as well as United States. Israel in particular might have been angry towards, or not might, is angry, and that is justified also, towards Iran, because recently Iran conducted an unprecedented attack on Israel. That was the first time in history such an attack against Israel was carried out by Iran. 200 to 400, that was the speculative number given. It was, we can safely assume that it was somewhere around 400. Drones and missiles were used in an attack against Israel, and Israel could thwart the attack with the help of US, UK, and their own state of the art missile defense systems. And they had vowed to retaliate. They said, we will retaliate at the time and space which we decide. So, naturally, the pointers of doubt is slanted against Israel. But at the same time, Israel has denied it. Of course, no country in the world is going to say that they were involved in an act of sabotage on another country's chief. Now, the second accused could be United States, because United States was involved in the killing of a very important Iranian general Mohammad Qasemi in 2020. That attack occurred when Mohammad Qasemi was in Baghdad. He was going to meet Iraqi officials. That was a switchblade attack in which he was killed. Then another important Iranian general was killed in an Israeli missile attack in an Iranian consulate in Damascus recently. So all these points out that attacks on Iran's important leaders have been regular, and the assailants have been very successful also. So naturally, doubt points towards these people. But startling as there may be other players also involved in this. For example, Pakistan. Iran and Pakistan have been at loggerheads since January this year, because both countries attacked each other. Though it was not a large-scale conflict, it was confined to the borders of Balochistan. Iran initially carried out aerial attacks on a terror organization which is operating from Pakistan and which was causing huge damage in Iran. Now, Pakistan also retaliated, but in April, Ebrahim Raisi visited Islamabad and he tried to settle the issues between both the countries. He held discussions with Pakistan Chief Minister Shahbaz Sharif and the military chief of Pakistan also. So it means that he had done something to normalize the relations between Pakistan and Iran. But there were also reports that Raisi was playing his cards close to chest, and he is a very cunning leader also. On the one hand, he shows a stick; with the other hand, he shows a carrot also. So that was his policy towards Pakistan. There were speculative reports that Pakistan was willing to sell nuclear bomb technology to Iran, and for a huge price, because Pakistan is in need of money and Iran could easily mobilize a sum of some like 10 billion US dollars because Iran is an oil-rich country and one of the top oil producers in the world. It is just because of the sanctions imposed by United States that Iran has not been able to produce oil as per their capability. So this is very clear. They have got deep pockets. So it would have benefited both if Pakistan transferred nuclear technology to Iran, because for Iran, they will use there are reports that they have got crude nuclear bombs, and Pakistan's technology is also crude. They would have used the technology to build bombs, better bombs, and threaten their enemies. In return, they would have been glad to give Pakistan 10 or even 15 billion US dollars for that. But on the public domain, there is not much information whether any such discussions have been held. But it is it is pertinent, it is relevant to assume that both these leaders might have discussed such things, but they might not have reached a conclusion. Now, after his Islamabad visit, Iran handed over Chabar port to India. That might have angered Pakistan, because that is a strategically very important port. It seems that Iran is playing a very safe game, and they are luring both India and Pakistan. Iran knows the value of India. They know that India is a growing economy, thriving economy, and establishing a relation with India will benefit Iran, especially the sale of oil. India has been one of the major buyers of Iranian oil. So Iran cannot antagonize India as Pakistan would wish. So if you consider all those aspects, there is a chance that Pakistan might be involved in the attack against Ebrahim Raisi, especially a Sunni dominant Pakistan. He doesn't like a Shia dominant Iran. There may be a working relation between both the countries, as they share a border of around 900 kilometers. But there is no love lost in Pakistan for Shias and their country, Iran. Now, there are other enemies for Iran also. For example, now Iran is supporting Russia in the Russia-Ukraine war. So, Ukraine naturally should be peeved. So, Ukraine might also come under clouds of doubt. Many East European countries could also come under the doubt, under the clouds of suspicion. Now, if you consider all those aspects, Iran has got many enemies. So, it is safe to assume that all these enemies might have connived to teach Iran a lesson. A super dominant, powerful Iran is a threat to Arab countries also, GCC countries also. They also don't like that. So, Iran should realize this. Now, let's look into the internal issues of Iran. The son of Sayyid Ali Khamenei, who is the supreme leader of Iran, Mr. Mujtaba Khamenei, is also peeved by at Ebrahim Raisi, because there are rumors that Ebrahim Raisi could even replace Sayyid Ali Khamenei, and he could become the supreme leader of the country. Ebrahim Raisi is a hardliner. He is known as the butcher of Iran. He is known for his iron hand tactics in suppressing the Iranian uprisings, which after the death of Mahsa Amini, who dared to walk in public without hijab. So Iran's internal problems could also be a reason, and it is also logical to point fingers at Mujtaba Khamenei, because once Raisi is finished, then there is no other claimant to the post of Khamenei. He could be a natural successor to his father. His father, remember, his Sayyid Ali Khamenei is 85-year-old. So it means that there is serious threat from inside also towards uh, Iran president. All these point out that there could be many people behind this. Now, what will be the impact of this? What is the lesson for Iran? The lesson for Iran is that Iran has done pretty well despite sanctions by United States and even UN, but not sorry, other Western countries. But at the same time, Iran needs to remember that any leader of Iran could be killed at any time. This is not a safe country. Iran needs to build a consensus in their own country. Till then, their country will be in danger. Despite their oil wealth, despite their resilience, despite their achievements on the technology front, like they have been on the forefront in manufacturing drones and they are even exporting it to Russia. But despite all those things, Iran is not a world power, not a regional power. They cannot guarantee safety to their own leaders. So they need to remember that. That's for now. Meet you with another topic next time. Till then, goodbye.